What's going on, wealth winners, and welcome back to another video. I realized today that I have an advantage being a small YouTuber that doesn't have any advertising or anything like that to worry about, because I believe it allows me to watch videos from MSNBC without having to worry about this video not having ads on it. So I have seen other YouTubers, namely Graham Stephan, react to videos on MSNBC about millennial money, how people spend their money in whatever it is city that they live. And I thought I would do the same and do a react video on this channel. In his videos, he says Millionaire reacts or Graham Stephan reacts. I'm gonna call this not a millionaire reacts to whatever I'm about to react to. So I'm gonna go searching for a video and let's react to it. All right, I got the video here and it's called Living on 100K a Year in Atlanta. Wait for it, Millennial Money. So let's go ahead and see how not a millionaire like me yet reacts to how this person, this girl, I think, based on the thumbnail, lives on $100,000 a year, how she spends her money, etc., etc. So let's check it out.
My total amount in student loans is $230,000.
Oh, $230,000 in student loans. Oh my God, did I just hear that right? Oh my God, that's a lot of money. It looks like there are a ton of degrees back there though. A lot of, I can't really read them, but like I guess certifications. I'm hoping to God that she is a doctor or something like that, because oh my God, I can't even imagine having $230,000 in student loans. I had about 20 and that was a lot. Anyway, let's go.
I don't feel great about having that large amount of debt, but at the same time, I don't let it hinder me in what I do in my life. My name is Dr. Adrienne Coleman. I'm 30 years old. I make $100,000
She is a doctor.
And I live in Atlanta, Georgia.
Now she's a doctor, but she's making $100,000 a year. So I wonder what kind of doctor. She must be working like public sector, or I don't know, do pediatric doctors get paid that little? Or maybe she's like a PhD in something, right? Maybe not a medical doctor. Well, we'll see.
Lived in Atlanta my entire life, and the only time I left was to go to grad school in Florida. I moved back because it's a great city. It's one of the top cities for Black millennials. I love hanging out with my friends, going to the park, going to a lot of my friends' events. I have a full-time job that I work Monday through Thursday, and a job that I do PRN, which means as needed, that I would do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Since Corona started, I do not work at that second job because it is at a skilled nursing facility, so the contact of coronavirus is heightened because the patients do live there and they do not want people coming in and out of the facility.
Wow, so this is a very hardworking woman. I mean, she was working 7 days out of the week. And it's really cool what she does. I have some extended family members that work in physical therapy, a couple that are, and friends that want to do occupational therapy. So I think it's really cool what she does. I didn't realize that getting a PhD in physical therapy would still not pay more than at least $150,000 a year. I just thought it was sort of a higher paying profession. Personally, I don't know whether or not it's just this particular job that she has now, but I don't know. It seems like she should be able to make more money with a PhD in PT, but let me know if I'm wrong.
When I was 15 years old, my mother was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. After researching multiple sclerosis, they found out that physical therapy had the best benefits for them. That was not medication. It's funny because I treat my brothers and my dad more than I treat my mom.
That's so awesome. So she decided to go into physical therapy because she really found like an attachment to it on an emotional level. And I'm sure that because of that, she probably renders a really good service to all the people that go to her for PT needs. So that's pretty cool.
My parents are immigrants from Jamaica. They've been here since about the 1980s, and they have taught me and my brothers a lot about money. We were given an allowance starting at a young age. I think it was about 6, and I had to sweep the kitchen. And if we did not do our chores, we did not get our allowance. I learned about personal finance through my mom and my dad and a few of my friends who are in finance. My dad is very much so work very hard and then reward yourself with your hard work. So spend money on yourself, travel, buy nice things for yourself. But my mom, more so, she taught me about investing from an early age, asking for 10% of whatever we earned on allowance or our paycheck and putting that into account for us that we could not touch. My relationship to money has changed since I've grown older.
That's awesome. I think that's a really good balance that she kind of struck between her father kind of teaching her about how to, kind of a play hard, work hard, play hard kind of mentality, but then also having, your mother who was helping her just kind of be a little bit more responsible by saving 10% of her income. It doesn't go really into exactly what she learned from her mom yet about how to allocate that 10%, like whether it be into savings or into investing, but curious to see where she goes with that.
Say that my mom is very cheap, and I used to have that trait, but as I've grown, I've realized that I don't have to be cheap in everything that I buy, so I value quality over quantity.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the kind of balance that I was talking about earlier, right? Or that I just said right now. It's like her father taught her kind of like it's okay to treat yourself on stuff. Sometimes finding that right balance between, investing for the future and living it up now is sort of difficult to do, but it's good when you have that balance. And it seems like, so far, it seems like she has that.
I invest a lot of money with my friends by buying their art, buying their clothes, buying their body products. I even solicit them to help me with business decisions by using them for their graphic design, for website design, anything that I need. I try to outsource that to my friends first and give them and invest in their businesses before I go to a big corporation. Since coronavirus has hit, my spending
I think that's pretty cool to support small businesses, especially those of you that have small businesses like that are run by your friends. I think it's pretty neat to be able to do that. I mean, as long as they're giving you a service that you think is worthwhile and is worth the expense, definitely do it. I saw that there was like a couple of things in there that were like, I would say probably not necessary to buy from like your friends. I saw like some artistic stuff in there. I don't know if those were necessarily things that she bought from her friends. And I would say that even if you are doing something nice for somebody or trying to support small business, you still kind of have to be responsible with like, okay, am I going to hire my friend because she's a CPA and she can help me with business decisions is different than buying somebody's art, especially when you're $230,000 in student loan debt. Is just it just seems a little bit lucrative for that, or I should call it, it seems like not necessary, not as necessary. I'll leave it at that for now. Let's see the budget.
Habits have changed a lot. I do not go out to eat as much. I do not spend money on clothes and shoes because I'm not going anywhere. I would travel at least once a month, even if it was going to the beach in Florida, because I do work a lot. Most of my travel money came from my second job, but since I'm not working there currently, then I don't have that extra money for travel, but we can't really go anywhere anyways right now, so that's okay. So I put about $200 into a regular savings account, another $200.
All right, so let's take a look at this. So this is not really an accurate representation of what she usually spends. So apparently she used to spend a lot more money prior to COVID, as did most of us, I think. So, okay, so her monthly spending is about $4,400 and she's spending about $1,500 on housing. So I don't know whether that means, so it's rent and utilities, so she's renting a place She's making $100,000 a year. I think that's a reasonable amount of money to be spending on housing, with rent and utilities. Debt repayments, golly, $903. That's crazy. I mean, but I would imagine that a majority of that is probably her student loans because it's so high. It doesn't really break down what her credit cards are here and how much she has in credit card payments versus her student loans, but I would imagine a lot of that is going towards student loans. So, geez, that's ouch. All right, transportation. She's spending some money driving, probably on a car as well. It'd be great if she had, her car paid off, but probably kind of difficult to do if you have a very low interest rate on your car, but probably a higher 4 or 5% interest rate on your student loans. Better off to pay the student loans on the car, in my opinion. Let's see here. Investments, $462 a month on investing. That's about, give or take, about 10% of what she's making now. Or let's see, let me do the quick math here real quick. She has about $6,250 after tax. So it's less than about 10% of what she's bringing home a month. So she's not really putting a whole lot towards investments. I think that she probably has to bump that up. But it could be that she's only taking advantage of like a 401k match. It doesn't really have any details here, but hopefully what she's doing is at least contributing to her 401k match and just doing that and just focusing the rest of her energy on paying off her debt. $400 in savings is a good amount of money, I think, to put into savings per month, especially for some of your bigger expenses. But yeah, I feel like a lot of this money could probably be going towards paying off her debt instead. So insurances, $280 a month on insurance. That seems a little high. According to this, it's car, dental, HSA, and health insurance. Car insurance, okay, 120 bucks. She doesn't even have life insurance, but did she say she was single? I guess if she's single, then I guess it's okay that she doesn't have life insurance. At $280 a month, it seems like she might be overpaying for something here. So she might want to check that out. The rest of it looks okay. $50 on food is super cheap. $16 on streaming services. $62 on phone, I can't complain. And $210 on miscellaneous. Hair and shopping, that's all really, really good. So I definitely can't complain about that. If she's bringing home $6,250 a month, let's see, let's multiply that by, yeah, probably her housing expenses are just around where she wants to be. So not really a whole lot to complain about here.
Into a high yield savings account. I put about $420 into my 401k through my job, and they match that as well. And then
there
I put
go.
about $20 a month into
Awesome.
my own personal Roth IRA account.
Okay, so she's doing a little bit of each. So she's taking advantage of the match, and she's putting $20 into a Roth, which is just fine, I guess, if she wants to start contributing to her Roth IRA. She's probably holding back because of all that student loan debt, though. Definitely. I mean, $900 some a month is crazy.
Coronavirus.
She's working on building her emergency fund. That's great. So that $400 a month is going towards establishing an emergency fund. I think that's perfect.
Virus has changed my financial goals. I'm grateful that I still have my job, but in the event that I didn't, I wouldn't have been able to survive past about 2 months. My biggest money mistake is going to a private university for grad school to get a degree in physical therapy. I'm one of 4 kids, so my parents did not have the money to send all of us to college. Being a physical therapist is a great job, but you don't make the money compared to the amount of money that you spend to go to school. My total amount of student loan debt is $230,000, and that's combined from undergrad and graduate school. 2 years ago, I ended with about $180 something thousand, and now it's grown to $230,000 because of interest.
Oh, oh my God, that interest, man, will get you so. I wish they taught, the basics of personal finance before you had to go out and get student loans, or if you're going to get student loans, just kind of show people these kind of stories, right? And just give people a realistic expectation of what they're going to make with whatever career path they choose before they sign those papers to take out those loans. That's crazy.
I'd rather live my life than throw thousands of dollars into trying to pay this debt off. And it's so much, I don't feel like right now that I just started my career 2 years ago that I could get ahead of this debt. I am on an income-based plan. I pay a minimum amount for 20 to 25 years, and at the end of that year, I am able to have my loans discharged, but I do have to pay taxes on the amount that is discharged. I don't plan on waiting 20 to 25 years to see if that happens. I do plan on creating things and making investments so that I am able to tackle that loan when I do have a little bit more money. If anybody out there wants to be a physical therapist, please go to a state school because it's not worth it to go to a private school.
This is great advice. I think it takes a lot to realize that you made a mistake in going to a private school, especially for a career that she now knows does not make what an actual doctor makes, right? It's physical therapy. So it's really good that she's using this platform to kind of warn and tell other people, just go to state school, and if you're going to be a physical therapist, have realistic expectations. I think that's great advice. She's intentional with what she's doing here, and to me, I think it's fine. And I'm sure she seems very creative. She probably has a lot in her to maybe start businesses, begin investing, and she'll probably be able to pay off the student loan a lot sooner than even she thinks. So I have high hopes. All right, let's talk about debt.
The steps that I'm taking to reach my financial goal is to pay down as much of my car note and my credit card debt as fast as possible. And I also have about $2,000 in credit card debt, but that will be gone very soon.
Okay.
If I can, I'll double up and pay $1,000 in a month just so I can hurry up and get my car note out of the way as well.
That's awesome. So, at that rate, she's going to have her car paid off in probably, at most, 2 years or so. I don't think that the car that she has here really is overly, it's not a new car, or at least it doesn't seem like a new car. It doesn't seem like it costs too much per month. And she's actively looking at, paying off her $2,000 credit card balance, as well as her $17,000 left on the car. I think that's very reasonable for a very reasonable timeline, and it looks like she'll probably do it sooner than she thinks if she becomes intentional about it.
He sent me a message one day, and then I realized that we had mutual friends, and then he asked me on a date, and we went to the movies at Atlantic Station for our first date. My boyfriend and I have been together for 7 years, and he is absolutely great. He does save me a lot of money because he buys all my groceries. Whenever we go out to eat, he pays for my food. He buys all my drinks. I don't spend a lot on gas because he drives me everywhere. And he even buys a lot of my clothes and shoes and bags. So that's pretty great. And he has the same philosophy about money that my dad has. So if you work hard, then you should reward yourself for all the hard work that you've done with either material things, vacation, or stuff like that. But he does invest too. He does day trading, and he's also a fashion designer, so he can make some of my clothes as well.
That's awesome. I personally think it's really cool when you have somebody, a partner that's on your side and is supporting you in your goals. Obviously, they've been dating for a while now and they're buying each other stuff. All of that is pretty normal and natural. The only thing I'll say, right, and it's probably something they didn't mention here, but they're probably talking about money together. She obviously knows what he does and he obviously knows what she's trying to do and they're okay with it. So, you know, as long as they have that sort of connection from a not only a romantic level, but also a connection in terms of their finances and where they want to be together, then that's great. You know, it's always important to have somebody that sort of balances you out, right? And that's great, as long as it doesn't tilt in any direction or the other, and if you both are on the same page, then that's great.
I wanted to be featured on Millennial Money to let other millennials know that you can live the life that you want and live comfortably even if you have a large amount of student loan debt. I think the most important lesson that I've learned is to pay yourself first and to invest a lot of money, and don't let student loan debt hinder you from living the life that you want. Because I know a lot of people in the US have a lot of student loan debt and they don't really know how to tackle it, but don't let it consume your life.
I think that's a really good philosophy. I think, like she mentioned, a lot of people are burdened by student loans, and it could become a real source of anxiety for a lot of people. Like, how do you go about living your life after you've made the mistake of taking out such an exorbitant amount of student loans? I personally feel like it'd be a great source of anxiety for me, and it probably is for a lot of people. And I think she's really showing people how you can go about still having a life while still also being very intentional about how you're paying off your debt, including your student loan debt. Obviously, I believe that this girl is probably going to start her own thing. Maybe, once her and her husband start, or her boyfriend get together, maybe they're going to start a fashion line or something, or maybe this whole day trading thing will turn into something even better for both of them. Or maybe she decides to open up her own practice, and she's probably going to take care of the student loan payment, no problem. But the great thing is that she realizes where she made her mistake, and she's just not letting it own her. She's allowing it to be, because it already happened, and she's just doing the best and making the best of what she can with that mistake in mind. But wow, I really enjoyed doing this reaction to Millennial Money with CNBC. If you guys enjoyed that, feel free to let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.